أهلا وسهلا بكم أعزائي المشاهدين على السجادة الحمراء حصريا لقناة دبي 1 ودبي تي في. معكم ميكو سعد أنقل لكم الحدث، أروع حدث في ليالي لندن وليالي بريطانيا على الأجمع. إنه حفل توزيع جوائز الأكاديمية البريطانية لفنون السينما والتلفزيون. الآن تابعونا على هاشتاج السوشيال ميديا دبي 1 أورد سيزون أو دبي 1 بافتا. بافتا واللي هي الأكاديمية البريطانية لفنون السينما والتلفزيون. هنا معكم ميكو سعد من السجادة الحمراء رويال ألبرت هول، قاعة ألبرت الملكية. مفيش مكان أحسن من لندن، وخصوصا لما يتعلق بالابتكار والإبداع في البزنس والموضة والفنون. الليلة أكبر نجوم العالم حيمشوا على أطول سجادة حمراء في العالم لحضور حفل توزيع جوائز البافتا 2018. والآن قناة دبي تلتقي حصريا مع جوانا لوملي المذيعة الرسمية للحفل والناقدة السينمائية أنا سميث في مقابلة حصرية لدبي.
I think the BAFTAs have become increasingly significant over the years, sort of in the scope of award ceremonies throughout the world. They are quintessentially British, and I think it's nice that they do emphasise a British film in numerous categories. I mean, they've been going nearly 71 years. Increasingly, we've seen them sort of stand up head and shoulders alongside the Oscars. You have a lot more Hollywood stars coming in to appear. A lot of Americans who are nominated are attending.
I think there's something deep in our souls that movies are Hollywood, Hollywood. And so American prizes, the Oscar is the one that people go for. And the BAFTAs are British. And so we do things with less less jazz hands, and we like to keep it sort of quite formal but quite congratulatory and quite sort of welcoming and quite this and that, not too excessive. But I think also we like to party. Having been awarded BAFTAs, I think particularly the first one, it was so overwhelmingly moving that the peers in my industry judged me worthy of receiving a prize, that I was overcome. I thought it was utterly thrilling. Getting a fellowship is a big, big deal. It doesn't mean that winning a category isn't a big deal, but receiving the fellowship was it was a different order. It was as if somebody came up behind me at the dinner table and just placed a great glittering crown on my head, and you go, oh, do I look wonderful?
وسوف يفتتح الحفل سيرك الشمس بحشرات من ألوان زاهية يزحفون على السجادة الحمراء، وكل العيون والأضواء تتسلط على جائزة أحسن فيلم.
It's a year where anything could win. It's been a very interesting year in film. But I think The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro's film starring Sally Hawkins, is in with a very strong chance. And another frontrunner is Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. It's directed by an Irish director, but it's also set in America, so it ticks a lot of boxes for BAFTA voters. I think in terms of the leading actress, Frances McDormand is in with a very strong chance for Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. She puts in an absolutely fantastic performance, and she's been winning most of the Best Actor it's gone so far. My thoughts on leading film actor, if anything is certain in this BAFTA, it is Gary Oldman winning for Darkest Hour, although Daniel Day-Lewis, of course, would be the other hot favourite.
I think in Britain, the BAFTAs is a very, very big thing. This is the longest red carpet ceremony in the world, because they come all the way around to the back street, all the way up the steps, right up to the Grand Albert Hall, then all around to the front of the Albert Hall. So we're going to see stars aplenty, talking and talking and talking, looking gorgeous, arriving maybe in black with something to say, the Time's Up thing, maybe not, maybe in colours, coming up, talking, coming around. The Royal Albert Hall itself is magnificent. And then on the night, just the glory of being parachuted into a kind of paradise, a walled garden of beauty, intense excitement, glamour, tears, laughter, the thrill, the tension of it. It's the only place to be.
أعزائي المشاهدين، مرة أخرى ننتظر الفنانين ليمشوا على هذه السجادة التي يمشي عليها أمهر صانعي السينما والتلفزيون في العالم. وسوف يكسب أو سوف يفوز فيلم واحد فقط من الأفلام الخمسة The Shape of Water واللي هو عنده 12 نومينيشن وفي Dunkirk و Darkest Hour Call Me By Your Name and 3 Billboard Outside Ebbing, Missouri. دولت الخمس أفلام اللي موجودين النهاردة معانا في جائزة أحسن فيلم. يا ترى هنشوف احنا دلوقتي الفنانين وهم بيمروا من هنا وتعالوا نشوف هنقدر نوقف مين فيهم يحكي لنا حكايته. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
How amazing to be nominated for Best Supporting Lead Actress.
Thank you. Only about 4 minutes in the film, so I'm quite proud of it.
Trust me, it's about the effect, but we'll say the effect of the 4 minutes, maybe it's bigger than a lot of things. So I'll ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Portraying like Churchill's life and somebody's important figure like this, how was it working together, bringing all to one story and one script?
Well, it was a lot of work. Thanks to Joe Wright's global vision. Joe Wright is an incredibly articulate and brilliant director who's got enormous experience and who's a really kind of holistic storyteller. He knows about movement. He knows. I mean, every single shot was planned before we did it. It was really, really exciting, and to be involved with Gary, who was so deeply invested in his portrayal that it was impossible to see Gary Oldman. I just saw Winston Churchill. I never saw Gary; I only saw Winston.
First of all, it's with an amazing movie ahead, a lot of awards, and here 9 nominations. Darkest Hour. What you have to say about this?
Oh, it's such an amazing story, actually, that very few people knew in the entire world, including in England, because it was just a moment in time in the very beginning of Churchill's prime ministership when he sort of stood alone to go up against Hitler. And I think if there had been somebody else in that chair, our whole lives might have been changed.
My goodness, and especially Churchill after I think 50 years now about his death and all, and he's such an important character, not just for the British history, for the world's history. So how difficult was putting the whole story and in the same time not upsetting everybody and adapting it right?
Yeah, it was based a lot on factual material, and Anthony McCartan is the screenwriter, and he was very, very careful with that. And we had a company, a renowned company here called Working Title. So Eric Fellner and Tim Bevan were producing partners who are very good at taking true material and holding it together and making sure that we don't violate reality. And then also Joe Wright sort of deserves the most credit in the sense that he's an amazing director.
Fantastic. You guys have 9 nominations, and one last question I'm going to ask. Have you ever been to Dubai?
Have I ever been to
Dubai?
No, but I'd love to go.
How are you guys today?
Astounded by your shoes is the main thing. That's definitely going to be the highlight of the evening.
But actually, the spotlight is not on me today. It's on you two for winning. Hopefully win.
Yeah. Do you know something?
Yeah.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
I know that. Tell us how it's amazing to be part of the Bafta.
It's very nice. Paddington's a family film and a comedy, and it's not always the sort of film that gets to come to nights like this. So we're just very happy to be here.
We think there's been some sort of mistake.
Yeah. Somebody's going to come and take it away any second.
But I believe that with such a beautiful story that it's classic, all right? It will go not just to adults, it will go to young people, to adults, to everybody. So, to be honest, I have hopes of Paddington too.
Thank
and
you.
It's a British film as well.
Yes.
Well, yes.
And believe it or not, I was in the process in one of the first one.
Yes.
It was in Portobello Road, and I was in the process of seeing the film. I've seen yourself there.
Wow.
I didn't see you, but I seen it.
Yeah, I probably was having a lie in.
I did all the 5 a.m. starts.
Yeah, I did all the hard work.
So, how difficult with all the technology and all of this to film such a movie, a classic, an animation movie in a real time or real life?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly technically difficult, activity. You've sort of got all the difficulties of making a normal film and all the difficulties of an animation at the same time, and you've got to sort of make them sit together as comfortably as possible. So it's really tricky, and I think it's pretty tough on the actors as well, because quite often they're doing a scene where, Paddington's not there yet. Yeah. And so they really need to not only give their own performance, but imagine his. And we're so lucky to have this extraordinary cast who are able to hold his performance and theirs in their head at the same time. So they're amazing.
اهلا بيكم تاني في البافتا على السجادة الحمراء. معنا لاتيشا. Hi Letitia.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Honestly, it's
Thank
bee.
you.
Is that a bee?
Yes, I'm supporting the bees tonight. Gucci
So, okay.
supporting the bees.
So I would say like be a star.
Be a star.
That's it. How are you today?
I'm very well. I'm very blessed. I'm very happy to be here.
And
What's the hell?
hello. Everybody's shouting. She's with me now. She's with Dubai TV. You gotta keep it there.
Dubai TV.
I've got to ask you. I've been watching you over and over, pronouncing the nomination.
Yes.
And you looked amazing, of course, as
Thank
always.
you.
And what's like how important the Bafta
Yeah.
to you and to the British industry for now?
It means a lot. It's our way of celebrating film and television, you know. And it's our way of like coming together to just, you know, have a great night of celebration. And it just shows, you know, when you put hard work into it, to be nominated, to be given an award, you feel good and you feel like you've done something. Even if you weren't nominated, you're still amazing, you know. So organizations like this coming together just to celebrate, you know, art, you know, and all of that is amazing.
Art, cinema,
TV, everything. It's just amazing.
And it's amazing that it's home.
Yes.
Like it's not in the Oscars or anywhere.
Yeah, it's home.
But it's as big as everywhere. As big as the Oscar or Cannes and the Royal Albert Hall too.
Yes. Beautiful venue.
So you were chosen to present the nomination.
Yes.
On the actual Bafta, on the actual day. How that was?
That was cool. It was a bit nerve-wracking, you know, because, you know, saying all these names that you don't know, but it was cool. It was fun to be able to put that into the world, you know, let these people know who've been working so hard, like, hey, your film's been nominated, so yeah.
Well, congratulations again.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll see you very soon.
Yes.
And any future project that you have?
Right now, Avengers is going to come out after Black Panther, and just taking a vacation and waiting for what's next, like really taking my time on what's next, but hopefully get to visit Dubai.
How are you? Tell us about your feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of mad. I'm not used to this at all, so I'm very excited and terrified. Nervous. Feel very smart.
To be honest, I thought I was nervous when I was coming, but I realized that the pressure is on you guys a lot more than I am.
Oh, I don't know. I think we've all got pressure.
No,
yeah. We're both doing brilliantly well.
Let's say, let's shake for a bit, me and you, and how great to be in the Bafta.
Oh, it's amazing. It is a real treat. It's surreal. There's nothing feels right about it, but I'm very proud and very honoured to be here. Yeah.
Should be. It's amazing. And about like the EE Rising Star, this is like it's voted by the public. It's not just voted by the members.
That's right.
Which is amazing that the public themselves, they recognize you.
Yeah, it is amazing. I find it kind of. I find it bizarre that anyone in the public knows me. I've definitely got one vote from my mum, so that's
and one from myself.
From you?
Yeah, I hope you. So, who do you think? Not apart from your category as well, who do you have like favorite to win tonight?
I mean, I would love to see Daniel Kaluuya celebrated. I'd love to see Daniel Day-Lewis celebrated. There's kind of phenomenal talent here today. Saoirse Ronan, I'd love to see kind of have a nod. Ultimately, I genuinely do believe, and that's why I'm so proud to be here this year. I think it's one of the strongest years for film for a very long time. So look, it's all to play for.
It's amazing, and as well it's British, so it's classy, it's aristocratic. It's in the Royal Albert Hall, which is more pressure.
Oh yeah. It's quite smart in there.
But it's an amazing feeling. At the end, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Last time I was at Royal Albert Hall, was seeing Bob Dylan play, so it'll be nice to be in a different environment.
How amazing to be here and nominated for 4 awards, this time by your movie Call Me by Your Name. So
it's fantastic. I mean, it's amazing. It's a great honor also.
And in the Bafta, in one of the biggest film awards on the planet, it's amazing. How easy was executing the whole project?
To put together this movie was so difficult. It was so tough, but eventually, you know, when we started shooting the movie, we were blessed by grace, the grace of this amazing cast we had the privilege to work with, and then the movie became a collective experience, and I'm very proud about that.
My goodness, and you have a few, like Timothy is winning Best Leading Actor, Best Rising Star, and you have so many awards. So are you planning to take this by the next step? Because a lot of people, I had few producers stop, by the way, they said the movie was their favorite.
That's great,
So,
I'm proud.
You did very good job. So we'll ask, what's your future project?
I'm just finishing my new movie. It's a movie called Suspiria. It's the reimagination of a great horror movie of the 70s by Dario Argento, and this is going to be my new adventure into the horror genre.
اهلا وسهلا معنا أندي سيركس على السجادة الحمراء وحنسأله. Hello Andy, how are you?
Very good, how you doing?
Very well, it's good to have you here in the red carpet.
Lovely to see you.
And after the War of the Planet Apes and like Lord of the Rings and all of your movies, what's your new challenge?
My new challenge is, well, I'm finishing at the moment. I've directed Mowgli, which is coming out in October, which is a very, it's a PG-13 version of the Jungle Book stories, much darker, close to Rudyard Kipling's original books.
And did you bring like the animated film? Did you bring it to life? It's
Yeah. It's live action, but it's using performance capture in the same way that the same technology used to create Caesar,
CGI,
and all the characters that I played. So all of our cast, we've got an amazing cast. We have Christian Bale, Kate Blanchett, Benedict Cumberbatch, Naomi Harris, endless great actors, all using performance capture to create their animal roles.
My goodness, because it's easy when it's animation to do anything, but when it's live action and you have an already adapted story,
yes,
so it must be more difficult for all of putting it together.
They're complex films to put together, visual effects wise, of course, but we had a great script, and it's very much, this is about Mowgli, this boy it's all about his search for identity, having been brought up with animals and having to relate to the world of man. So it's more psychologically complex and a slightly older film.
So shall I say Mr. Gary or shall I say Mr. Churchill? Shall I say Mr. Gary or Mr. Churchill?
No, just Gary.
Okay, just Gary. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
You're nominated for Best Actor.
Yes.
How does that feel?
Well, it feels, particularly for this role, I'm very proud. I'm very proud to be nominated. I'm in very, very good company. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Yeah.
And portraying such a character like Winston Churchill, and it's how difficult it is, especially he's not around, to see this. How could you bring back all the characteristics and the stuff about it?
Well, what you're watching at the end of the day is a great deal of homework. A lot of, you can come, you got your talent and your whatever that thing is. But it requires just really sitting down at my kitchen table and doing the work.
My goodness, must have been a lot of work. So one last thing, next time I look at the £5, will I see Churchill or will I see yourself?
Well, you can call it, a £5 note, you can either call it a Winnie or a Gaza.
وبكده تكون انتهت تغطيتنا على السجادة الحمراء. بعد وصول معظم الفنانين ودخولهم إلى القاعة، ننتقل إلى قاعة ألبرت الملكية لحضور الحفل من البداية إلى النهاية. كان معكم ميكو سعد في تغطية خاصة لقناة دبي ودبي واحد.